Hello you all, welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, what's good? If you're new, hey boo, I am back with yet another video, okay? I kind of wanted to unwind my thoughts with y'all tonight and talk about something. Like the last video that I made just seemed to kind of correlate with this video. And we're going to talk about emotional strength is a key ingredient to spiritual growth, okay? And so this is extremely important because if you can't handle your emotions, and a lot of things tend to make you upset, then you are not going to be able to handle what's going to come along with what the Lord has for you. Now, if you can't handle this, then you most certainly is not going to be able to handle that. And as you go up that ladder of gaining spiritual wisdom, and you having the Lord lead you along the way, remember, He is always holding your hand, okay? You're going to get more than you intended to, okay? You already know what's going to be ahead of you, but you don't know the totality of it or the intensity of it. You just kind of need to brace yourself emotionally and mentally to be able to take on this spiritual gift, okay? Taking on spiritual forces is something that is way beyond physical. We're not going to factor in a physicality aspect of all of this. We are going to focus more on the spiritual and the emotional and the mental. So before you decide to ask the Lord to grant you this spiritual gift or spiritual discernment, spiritual armor, so to speak, okay, you have to make sure that you have your emotions and your mental health intact, because what you ask for, the Lord shall give it to you, okay? So you got to be ready for what you asking for, okay? You got to brace yourself for it, because when we think of gifts, we automatically think it's something good, you know? You get that present and it's exactly what you asked for. It's in a nice little pretty bow, and while it may seem as though you are getting the perks of having this gift, there are going to be some cons along the way too, okay? And that is spiritual warfare, and that is whatever comes along with that spiritual warfare. There's going to be so many different forms of it. And so if you are not emotionally mature and mentally stable in order to take on the forces of this world from a spiritual aspect, then you're not going to be spiritually equipped to be able to handle what you're going to be going up against, okay? So always make sure that you got your emotions intact, and we are being tested daily, okay? Every day is a test. All different aspects of your life, okay? Whether it be with your children, your friends, your family, your co-workers, your neighbors, strangers, you are going to be tested on your emotional strength and your mental stability to see how well you are going to be able to handle these tests of life. And you're always going to be being graded by the Lord. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel like this is put right here for a reason. Like, why did this have to happen at this moment, at this time, in this place? Everything happens for a reason. And the more you become emotionally stable, then you are going to be able to pass these tests when it's time for you to get out here with the spiritual warfare, okay? If you can't deal with a person talking crap to you, and you know for a fact that this person is being used by a spirit, if you can't see past the physicality of this person's intentions in this test that was put out here for you, it was set up for you to fail, okay? Remember that. Most tests from life are set up for you to fail, but as long as you got the Lord on your side, you will always pass with flying colors, okay? That's what you want to do. And if you can't take somebody saying a few words to you, then you may not be prepared for this spiritual warfare out here, okay? This really goes way beyond everything that I have ever talked about on my channel. Actually, it kind of goes hand in hand with what I talked about on my channel. This is another thing that is going to help you on your spiritual journey. Take note of the test that you come up against. Always take notes of the progress after the test. Okay, did you pass or did you fail? Put it on the sticky note, put it on your phone, put it in your planner, whatever you get. and say, man, this happened today. I was in traffic and this person cut me off. They knew that I was trying to get over and they almost hit me. And it took all the restraint from me not to get this person a finger and not to curse this person out. And it took all the restraint because this person literally sitting up here yelling at me. They looking like they probably about to pull out something because I ain't let them over. And I think I probably failed that test. I just use that example because I know a lot of people have road rage. I'm not one of the people that have road rage. Like, road rage is something serious. It's actually dangerous. A lot of people have lost their lives on the receiving end of some road rage. So please, like, when y'all are out of traffic, please be safe. Like, every time I get in my car and go anywhere, I always ask the Lord, please put your hands on the wheel. Please get me to and from my destination safely in the name of Jesus Christ, okay? Lord, please put your hands on this wheel. You need the Lord spiritually protecting you everywhere you go. People take things for granted. Like, the simplest things. Like, you could literally be getting your car just to go somewhere that's only going to take you a couple of minutes to get there, and just in a split second anything could happen, so you want the Lord to be constantly spiritually protecting you everywhere you go. But yeah, just you're going to come across situations to where you're going to constantly being tested emotionally and mentally, and depending on how you respond to the situation, it's going to let you know whether you passed or failed this test. Now I'm just going to use a situation with dating. If you're a dude and you're interested in a woman and she not really giving you the time of day, and it feels as though she's trying to play you like you're a lame, like you're not good enough for her time or attention, and it make you feel some type of way, and you feel yourself ready to act out emotionally, like you ready to curse her out, call her all types of stuck-up bees, or you may threaten her, you just reacting off of emotion. That's a test, okay? Rejection is God's protection, okay? So never getting your feelings about a woman rejecting you, okay? It's always going to be some woman out there that wants you. So how you react emotionally, mentally, is going to be a test of your spiritual strength, okay? So that's another thing to take into account. If you are a woman, it could be the same way going around. It's a man that you're interested in, and he treating you as if you're not good enough for him. He wants a certain type of woman with a big booty and some big titties, and you ain't got none of that type of stuff, and you upset with him because he like a certain physique of a woman, and you cursing him out, you calling him all type of names, and you acting your emotions. You're not thinking before you speak. That's a test, okay? Everything that's put out here is a test from the Lord. If you go off the hinges on this person, this dude gonna think you crazy, and this woman gonna think you crazy. So emotional and mental strength is key ingredient to your spiritual growth, okay? When it comes to your children may be in disobedience to you. They may not do their chores around the house, or they may didn't come home on time for their curfew. You told them to come home at a certain time and they came whenever they wanted to, or they mouthed off at you when you told them to do a certain thing, and you react by getting out of bed. You react by yelling and screaming at them, or cursing at them, or just anything, and you acting off your emotions, and you not being an emotionally and mentally mature person out of the situation. You're supposed to be the parent, so you're supposed to be the bigger person. There's no way you should be letting your child overpower your emotions to the point where you acting out verbally, and your parental guidance is doing more harm than good. You think it's helping, and it's hurting you and your child. That's a strong part of the test. That's a test. That's spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare will attack you in so many different forms. They'll try to come to you through your children, try to get you to go off the handle with them, when the most emotionally mature thing to do is to sit down and talk to your child instead of yelling at them. That's a test right there. Another test could be, let's say we're gonna kind of play the 7 deadly sins in, because they does play a big factor on being spiritual warfare, your spiritual growth, okay? Emotionally and mentally being intact, not being controlled by your flesh, okay? We already know that we are physical beings, and if you don't have control of your flesh, then your emotions and your mental state can't overtake you, and you are not going to have the spiritual strength to fight off this test that is being put out there that's set up for you to fail. Like, say for instance, you're a guy, you battling the spirit of lust, okay? You can't seem to look at a woman without undressing her with your ass, and you're doing it in a disrespectful kind of way, as if you are degrading her. You fighting with your flesh, and you lose the battle of your flesh, and you get to hopping in her inbox, or you get to cat calling her on the street, or just something. You just letting your lust take over you to the point where you giving off creep kind of behavior. You know, women don't like creeps. Okay, let me just say that women don't like when a man is being a creep and looking at her as if she a sexual object and not a person. Okay, so that's another thing of having your emotions and your mental intact when it comes to your spiritual growth. Like, some things you are going to learn how to fight the spirit of lust very strongly when you have spiritual growth. Okay, there's a lot of things that are not going to phase you. It's a lot of things that you're just going to look at it as if, okay, well, you know, I'm not really affected by that, and automatically you didn't pass the test because you didn't give in to your flesh. If you're a woman and you're dealing with a lustful kind of spirit, the same thing goes for you. A man could whisper something sweet in your ear and he telling you all this good stuff, and he trying to kiss on your neck and do all this other stuff, and you just feeling real lustful and you feeling like you want to give in to him. He can just say something to you to make you feel as though you might fail this test. But you got to keep remembering, your flesh is the only thing that's protecting your spirit. Your spirit should be stronger than your flesh. That's the whole part of having a spiritual gift and having spiritual growth, spiritual strength. All of that accounts for fighting spiritual warfare. Okay, fighting a temptation with your flesh, that's spiritual warfare within itself. Okay, that's another test. And just depending on how you react to every situation that you encounter in your life, it could be a situation that happened at work, it didn't work in your favor, and you acting off your emotions and you're not really thinking that these type of actions can cause you to lose your job, putting you in a position to where you may not even get future employment anywhere else. And one mistake can ruin the whole race. One mistake can set you back on your spiritual growth. And we ain't starting over on the channel, okay? We've already got so far. All the videos I never made, we didn't get too far. We are too far gone on our spiritual growth to be turning back. One little mistake. All it takes is one little thing. It could be something so minute. It don't even have to be anything major. They can just ruin the entire thing. Just ruin everything that you work so hard for. And y'all don't want that disappointment, okay? But yeah, that's just something that I kind of wanted to talk about real quick tonight. I'm not going to really keep y'all for too long, but that's just something to kind of keep in mind. When you want to have a spiritual connection with the Lord, you just want that, and you want to know what it is that you need to strengthen it, to even get to that point. Because everything else has to be intact before you deal with the spirit, okay? So yeah, it's just something to ponder on tonight and think about. Y'all have a good night, and I will talk to y'all in the next video.